This is Jamie Griggs at Huntersville Elementary School in Huntersville, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte. And I'm here today to talk to you about my Coach's Corner, and I use this for a lot of different reasons. If you're having discipline issues, if you're having a child that's just not getting the skill of the day, if someone's being unsafe, we'll talk more about those in just a minute. But our Coach's Corner is a designated area away from everybody else that a student can practice the day skill and get some one-on-one instruction. I send kids to the Coach's Corner for multiple different reasons. Number one is probably if they're just struggling with the skill and they need some one-on-one. I can bring them over. I can still watch my class and give them some one-on-one instruction. When students are being unsafe, if they're being completely unsafe and they're not following a proper rotation, or if we're supposed to be putting and they're taking a full swing, they're moving out of their area. It's a designated area, and I put some physical boundaries down, a hula hoop or some dots. Like, this is your spot now. Students that are horse playing, they're unfocused, they're wasting time, they're socializing, and kids love to socialize these days. And being part of a group is a privilege. It's not their right. A lot of kids think that, and we kind of let the kids run that sometimes, and that's not their right. Their right is to an education, and that's it. When they come in, a lot of students think, well, PE is supposed to be fun. I'm going to have fun with my friends, and fun turns into I can do whatever I want. I can go crazy, and that's not the case. So a lot of times I pick kids groups just so they're mingling. We're getting boys with girls. We're getting the ethnic and racial diversity in each group. If you play a game, little mini games of baseball or something, or basketball, it's almost boys on one side, girls on the other, and that's for safety. Middle school, I get that, but on elementary school, it's not necessary. So what does the Coach's Corner do? It's a lot of different, has lots of great effects. Number one, it holds students accountable for what we're learning. We don't give grades at Huntersville for PE. And a lot of times, again, the kids know this and they just want to goof off, and that's just not going to be the case because someone usually gets hurt. It keeps them on the activity without a negative consequence. They may see getting away from their friends as a negative consequence, or working with a partner. They don't get to work with their partner as a negative consequence, but they pick their own partner. Sometimes they pick poorly. It keeps them on the activity and what we're learning. It can provide one-on-one attention and get some small instruction. And I may set up 2, 3, 4, 5 different Coaches Corners for really challenging groups or low classes. And you know which classes those are. You have those, third grade does great, and this one class comes in, they just don't get it on anything you do. So you know how that works. And it provides just a break sometimes to get kids out of kids do get frustrated. Hitting a baseball is very, very challenging, or hitting a softball is very, very challenging, even off a tee, and they get frustrated, and it's a way you can kind of talk them off the cliff. And it provides differentiation. I'll show you my Coach's Corner today for our baseball, softball batting practice with a K1, and we can modify. So differentiation, big buzzword in the classroom. We can modify the ball, we can modify the bat, we can use a tennis racket, a bigger ball, smaller ball, whatever it is we need to do. How do you get out? Now, once they're in, you have that child that just refuses to grip a club correctly. I had a student the other day. We were putting. He wasn't holding it correctly. I showed him 3, 4, 5, 6 times, brought him out of his group, and I ended up just taking the balls away. And we put the club down, we picked the club up. Put the club down, pick the club up. And that's what we worked on, just getting the proper grip. I don't expect kids to be professional putters, but we can all stand and start and grip the correct way. And it's going to set them up for success. And there was a little defiance with this student, so that's what we did that day, is we just practiced putting it down and picking it up. And unfortunately, he never gripped the club correctly. Even after I would put it in his hand and just say, hey, hold this club, I'd turn around and he'd have his thumb on top like it was a broom. So how do we get out? I'll show them 1 or 2 more times, like, here's the expectation, this is what we're trying to do, here's the grip, whatever the skill is, whether it's jumping rope, putting, batting, and I just tell them, look, you're going to have to do this desired skill 15 to 20 times in a row, and if I glance over at any point and you're going back to your way, you're doing it wrong, that 15 or 20 times starts over again, and they just stay there until they can get it right. And it works really, really well. So I've got my Coach's Corner over here today for our baseball, softball unit, and it's just really, really simple. I've got 2 dots down, Let me see if I can figure this out. And that's where they just put their feet. For my right-handers, we've got a lollipop paddle instead of a bat. We've got a foam ball, and they're just going to hit it into a wall. And it may be that we're just working on the grip. Maybe it's a discipline issue. Can be lots of different reasons why they're getting into coach's corner. Maybe they had problems the last time, or they're having a problem with someone in their group, so they just get to the coach's corner. I'm going to demonstrate 1 or 2 times what we're looking for, and then we go from there. For jump rope, for like long rope skills, you've got that one kid that wants to just wiggle the rope and ruin it for everybody. I have tied ropes to a door handle. I've tied ropes off to the bleachers and just said, hey, you're going to go over there and just turn by yourself until you learn how to do this correctly and you're not disruptive for the entire group. So coach's corner, try it out. Kids really do want to be in a group. I have found that students work much, much harder when they realize that, hey, if I'm goofing off, I don't get to play with these guys or my girlfriends, and I'm gonna do my best to follow instructions. So try it out. Coach's corner, call it what you want, just a little designated area off to the side that you can give some one-on-one attention, but I don't give them tons of attention. I show them 2 or 3 times, and then I move off to everybody else, and I'll just kind of glance back to make sure they're on track. I think you'll have some success with it, whether it's K through 5 or even middle school or even high school, and it's a positive way to keep boys and girls playing. Good luck.